Welcome, Sagittarius, to October of 2023. We have a sky that's going to bring some significant change in a positive way to your work and health, as well as your reputation and career, and maybe some explosive but maybe ultimately powerful energies changing up the spending and earnings story in the sky for you during this month. It is a big month. We have 2 eclipses. We also have 3 planets changing signs. I'm going to talk about some of that in our time together here for this video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am Lori Lothian. Welcome to my channel. I'm using the whole sign house system. I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer. I am not sidereal. I love the minor asteroids, and if you stick around, you'll learn a lot about them. The only promotion I'm doing for the month of October is why don't you come aboard my free webinar. I've now finalized the date. It's October the 9th. I think it's the 9th. It's sometime around that time, no, the 10th, and it's free. There's a replay available, and we're covering the eclipses in the month of October. I'm going to particularly focus on the Libra eclipse, but talk about the whole cycle as well. So check it out. It's free. It's going to be fun, and I hope to explain things to you that I will not be able to cover in this video. Although if you check my channel out, I do have 24 to 30 videos every month, and I will be covering the eclipses in more depth as well on this channel, just not as in depth as I will in a webinar with PDF downloads and documents for you to use, okay? So the first thing you might notice today is that I have my hair up because it's not washed, which means that I can't share my Coolio earrings with you because they keep going out of alignment, but we'll deal with that. So Sagittarius, what's the first thing going on here? Big news in your sky here to do with the ideas of the sky. Okay, so what we have here is we have Mars moving into the sign of Scorpio, which he only does once every 2 years. And as he moves through Scorpio this year, it's also the beginning of a very powerful kazimi coming up in November, meaning a reset button for Mars. And you will be resetting your 12th house in a big way. Your Scorpio 12th house, Sagittarius, is a house of foreign shores, revenue, and business dealings generated from foreign lands and foreigners, as well as those self-defeating undoings that you may have, whether it's a sabotaging mindset or whether it's an actual addiction. And I'll tell you, this is going to be for some Sagittarius is the beginning of the end of some addiction starting up this October into November. So this is a big deal transit for you. We're going to dive into some of those details, as well as how the Venus story, as she finally leaves Leo and offers some grace to your career and reputation space, should feel really good for you this month. Let's break it down. First of all, big stories, and then into the chronology step by step through October. Number one, Mars will be leaving Libra on October the 12th. And before he does, he's going to bump into the South Node. And this is an energy field that, the first 12 days of October, you may be feeling you need to let go, release, surrender, some sort of part of your 11th house stories. That can be a friend, a friendship circle or group. You may be feeling like you need to cut away, release, surrender, let go of agreements you've made for work. Maybe even some of your deepest wishes and dreams are coming to a kind of close, especially after we have a Aries moon on September 29th. That also is ruled by that Mars letting go of things on the South Node. So as you go into the first couple of weeks of October until the 12th, you may have a feeling of having to surrender, let go, release something that is not serving you. You might feel drained by it. You may feel you're giving too much there. I mean, the Libra part of our sky is often where we give too much, and it is your house of friendships. So in some way, you may be letting go of how you engage in those friends, or they may be letting go of their engagement with you. As I said, if you consider the 11th house a career gains house, you're letting go of some of those gains as well, maybe to find more creative balance in your life and focus on what brings you joy and enthusiasm. Now, Mars then moves October 12th through to November the 24th into Scorpio, your 12th house. Like I said in the intro, it is a release, surrender, let go of those undoings, the things you do to trip yourself up, to sabotage your life, often unconsciously. You can often undo karma here, past life stuff, family of origin stuff, ancestral junk. And it's kind of a good soul work transit when Mars moves through the 12th. But on a practical level, starting October 12th to November 24th, is wonderful for travel to foreign shores, far off lands, etc. So note that can be just significating a travel time for you, where you're just gallivanting to and fro over and high and dale, hill and dale. There's going to be some tension though to watch out for, and I'll be bringing that up, where if you do travel, it may be very, very gnarly, and I'll talk about that as we get to the end of this video. So what else can I say about Mars in the 12th? Watch out for male figures, men figures who may not be your best friend, who may be enemies, hidden enemies. You know what I mean? You don't know they're an enemy until you know, but I'm saying that 12th house is hidden enemies. Mars can also, this is a house of hospitals, insane asylums, and so you may watch out for people that you know may be showing up in the hospital anytime between October 12th to the 24th. Hopefully not an insane asylum, maybe for injury reasons. And there's just a possibility at a very simple and mundane level. Now, what you just heard was my little list of all the activities in the sky falling off my window, where I'm recording in front of my window. All right, keeping on with the story then. Next, Venus has been finishing at last her 4-month stay in Leo, all through June, July, August, September, until October the 8th. She was in Leo, which was your foreign lands, book publishing, academia, colleges and campuses, spirituality, faith, hope, and belief, 9th house, and as well third marriages. So she's done glamming up there, maybe giving you some big assists and some redos, and maybe even traveling to places you've been before, or going to foreign shores for love and romance, or having good outcomes perhaps in legal matters. But as she now moves into your 10th house on the 8th of the month of October, and will be there until November the 8th, you're going to look at this as a blessing in your reputation career space. If you don't have a career, it's just how people see you. You've got a Venusian glow. You could be more congenial, more popular, more likable, more persuasive, just more, looking good. Things are looking good. Raises, promotions, and accolades can happen when Venus travels through anybody's 10th house. More so if you're floating midheaven in whole sign houses is also in that 10th house. But nonetheless, it's a career and reputation glow up. So just enjoy that ride. We want to talk a little bit next about Mercury going through 3 signs during the month of October. First, he starts the month finishing up a very long 2-month transit through the your 10th house. That's your career space. I don't know what you're doing, renegotiating a business contract, changing your jobs, applying for new jobs, who knows. That 2-month stay included a retrograde. We haven't had him in Virgo for 2 months since same time of year, August, September, October of 2016. Finally finishes his negotiations and managing you up there, including that very challenging retrograde that's now over. And he's moving. So he will move out of your 10th house. That's the interesting news. And he will move into your 11th house of good spirit, where all those great career gains and hopes, dreams, and wishes happen. And he'll do that shift on October 5th, and he'll be in your 11th house till October 21st. He has a kind of minor dignity here from triplicity lordship. So he's happy in Libra. He's very apt to be very communicative, very social. He may invite you to spend more social time with friends, October the 5th to the 21st, more going out with them, more enjoying groups of people, events, and social settings and company. But he also up here can make you very dialogue-y, communicative, and good at talking, writing, and emailing people who are your friends. If you are somebody who makes money, you want great career gains and you make money through marketing or selling or persuading, that's good for you in that regard as well. Mercury can be very much a sort of a superstar of the art of the persuasion, maybe, or the art of the sale, through mostly writing, sometimes with Libra, but also sometimes speaking. So you're blessed with that October the 5th to the 21st. Then on October 22nd, he moves into Scorpio, where he will join Mars, who, as I remind you, arrived there on the 12th. That's going to be an interesting combination because it's going to bump into some pretty explosive territory near the end of the month. But in general, having Mercury in Scorpio for 3 weeks, starting October 22nd, can be a time again related to travel, especially to far offshores, or very directly making money from foreign shore revenue, whether you have PayPal, Stripe like I do, or maybe you're making money from foreign shores because you're traveling there, or your company's a foreign company, or you're making money with foreign clients. But it's really good for those themes as well. Finally, maybe deal making and deal brokering behind the scenes, low key, hidden, as you get ready for something new, or others are brokering deals on your behalf behind the scenes. Now let's break this down chronologically and let's go quickly. This is just a teaser for the stuff that I'll be doing deep dive videos on all month long for all signs, which is why when you subscribe, you'll get lots more content like the asteroids, the stars, and everything else. First of all, at the beginning of the month, we start very strong. I love the start of the month. October 1st to the 3rd, we have A powerful Mercury and trying to Pluto. And this is kind of like the last hurrah because Pluto's leaving the sign of Capricorn finally next year. So Mercury is flowing from Virgo and he's at the very tail end of it, trining Pluto in your second house of earnings. Now, because it's Mercury, contracts, deals, negotiations, communications, and the reputation and career house, trining Pluto, wealth and power in your earnings house, it looks a lot for some of you. Like the first 3 days of October are contracts, deals, negotiations, job offers, or just up levels of money through things you're doing in your career and workspace. It looks very good on you, really positive money career. But at the same time, he's opposite, Mercury's opposite Neptune. So there may be some stress in your life going on regarding people in your home environment may be objecting or confusing and muddling the situation, or things you're doing in the home not really jiving as well as you'd like regarding what opportunity is being presented to you October the 1st to the 3rd that looks really good on your money situation and your work career situation as well. Now, October the 8th to the 10th, Mars squares Pluto and Venus is opposing Saturn. This makes this time what we call a gnarly or difficult or challenging sky. Mars is in Libra, where he's in detriment. He doesn't feel good there. He's kind of got a hangover because he wanted to fight hard, swordsmanship in a war. And Libra is the UN peacekeeping tent, and he's told to make a deal and create the peace treaty. But, he's really not wanting to do that. So he's having to be diplomatic, and he's having to be kind, and he's having to be fair with his sword. And he's there squaring off with Pluto in your earnings house. Now, this can be really some kind of need to diplomatically negotiate something with a friend, or in terms of your career gains, how much you're going to make, what kind of perks and rewards you want, what kind of benefits you're going to get, and how that applies to the money story. So it may just be a furthering of what we saw going on in the beginning of October, but now you're fine-tuning the details. On the other hand, you could have some big disagreement with a friend over money, over resources, over some kind of possession. And this disagreement may feel like there's a need for conflict resolution. Somebody wants to make a deal here or wants to smooth it out. Hopefully, it's quite possible as well. We will at that time have Mercury in Libra, and he is that deal maker. So maybe you can make a deal. Maybe you can smooth this out October 10th, the 11th. Venus opposite Saturn. Okay, so Venus wants pleasure and love and joy and enjoyment, and she's in your career space. And this can often lead to office romances. She's here in your career space about 3 weeks every year. And this is like, watch out for flirty times in the office or work career space, okay? Or a colleague falling for you or vice versa. But Venus in the 10th house is opposite Saturn, October 8th to the 10th, in your house of your home, or the house of your mom, or the house of parents, or the house of your private life. So there's something about, some enjoyable, flirty, fun, good things going on in the career space, but there's some kind of tension in the home about that. Saturn wants everything to be cautious, steady, and structured, and Venus doesn't really care, especially in Virgo. She's in her detriment. She may be a stickler for the details about how that pleasure in your work is going to happen, where Saturn is just like, can we stabilize the home base, forget about the work? And it can be a person, some kind of Debbie Downer in your home life, raining on your career joy parade sometime between October 12th to the 14th. October 8th to the 10th. On October 12th to the 14th, Mars will trine Saturn, but a sweet spot in the sky not seen since 1995, and before that 1965, because Mars in Scorpio trining Saturn in Pisces is what we're talking about. Now, Mars is in the very early degrees of the sign of Scorpio, like 0 degrees, trining Saturn retrograding at 0 degrees of your 4th house of home, property, and real estate. Because Mars is now in your 12th house, this can be about travel away from your home. That's very significant and can help you land some new foundation, maybe even moving to a new homeland. Mars here can also help you negotiate something. There's a backroom deal kind of vibe to do with property, home, and real estate, and keep it low key for now. And that again is a sweet spot, October 12th to 14th. If you make money from foreign shores and revenues, this is going to be something that impacts your home in a positive way, maybe allowing you to move your home, change your home, or stabilize your home. Okay, in some new way. It's a sweet sky story for sure. And it may involve a parent as well, especially if one of your parents or your mother in particular resides in a far off land. This may just be travel to visit the mother or the elder or the grandparent, all very possible. This is a nice sky. If you want to get something done, you're driven, you're ambitious, and you can achieve and cross your finish lines with a superior amount of drive and willpower. But again, it has to be something you're doing in and from and about your land, property, home, and real estate, maybe connecting to travel or foreign revenue or foreigners or foreign shores. Okay. Moving forward then, and into October 19th to the 21st, we're having Mercury enter the heart of the sun, specifically on the 20th, called a kazimi, which is a reset button. He is conjunct Persephone at 26 degrees. It's happening at 26 degrees of Libra. So it is going to be a big reset where some part of your life you may felt like you were a victim. You can learn to become the victor. But because this is a square to Pluto, while also on the south node opposite the north node, creating a T-square in the sky to Pluto at the bending of the nodes of fate. Whoa, it's very intense. This is one of the most intense times in your life. And you may not see the full out picture of this intensity until a couple of weeks after the kazimi, when we see Mercury getting some visible action in the sky. But nonetheless, look to this Mercury story, resetting a friendship, resetting a group of belonging, resetting what gains and what kind of gains you wish to receive from your career, or what kind of goals and wishes and hopes and dreams you want for your very own life. Big reset button, but that square to Pluto says it's about the money, it's about the self-worth, it's about the self-value, it's about your resources. Okay, that you're trying to make this big reset specifically your resources. And it may also be, if you're an entrepreneur, about how you create better resources through entrepreneurship or creativity. Now we move forward to October 21st to the 24th. October 21st to the 24th is a very happy week. It's a glow up for everyone during that window of time. Venus will be trining Jupiter and the sun will be trining Saturn. And this is just everybody's having a good time. It's a positive sky. Yes, we will be experiencing the eclipse season tumbling us around with that Libra eclipse on October 14th, and then that Taurus eclipse on October 28th. But again, sign up for my webinar. We're not covering those lunations, which are eclipses this month, here because we won't have time. But October 21 to 24th, with that Venus in Virgo, trining Jupiter in Taurus, is lovely. Now, Jupiter is in the house of your work and your health routines, pets and tenancies and rental agreements. And he's retrograde, going back over old ground. So you may find this is something that's already been percolating about how to prosper, expand, and grow in the 6th house areas of your life. And a trine from Venus in the 10th house smacks of a job, a career space offer, a raise, a promotion, a blessing of some sort for a lot of you guys, or a health improvement through something to do with health and work, health and reputation, either one. And you may be able, even with this, to rent a space for a retail outlet or office space as well. And so I just like the feeling of this quite a lot. And it kind of feels to me like it also could be opening up a possibility for some of you of a new pet. All right, just because Jupiter is in the house of pets. And now Venus in the 10th house might be a well-known breeder or a well-known pet, a pet supplier or something with your ideal pet coming through the sky, October 21st to the 24th, or good news about your pet. And then the sun at the same time will be trining Saturn. Now, the sun will be moving through the sign of Scorpio. It's Scorpio season, and trining Saturn, who is now retrograde at 0 degrees of your 4th house. Lots I could say, but we're back to those themes I talked about earlier: home and travel, parents in foreign lands, revenue from foreign shores, stabilizing your home life, finding more stability in the home through backroom deals and negotiations. I mean, even some of you may craft a new financing agreement, mortgage, or something like that with the vessel flame in the house of banks and mortgages as well. During this energy, almost creating a kind of October 21st to 4th, beautiful financing possibility for those sorts of places, as I mentioned, mortgages and banking and loans and things like that. So look for that sweet spot in the sky. It can be financial, and it can also be very spiritual. It's activating houses 12 and 4, and maybe literally a spiritual breakthrough, illuminating a deeper sense of your soul, what you're here for, who you really want to be, separate from mom and dad, separate from your childhood wounds, separate from your past life junk in the trunk karma, kind of having a spiritual swooning moment, but in a way that's stable, lasting, and you can really anchor something here. Moving into October 27th through the 30th, Mars will be opposite Jupiter. Now, I alluded to this earlier as a very tense time for travel. because Mars in the house of foreign shores and foreigners, and Mars being a travel planet, opposite Jupiter, flights and flying as well in Taurus. That just could simply mean watch out, your travel plans are not kiboshed. Don't maybe choose to get on a plane or try to travel that day, right? Or those days of October 27th to 30th. Maybe something that would just not be the best plan. Let's put it that way. Mars, though, opposite Jupiter, is explosive, combustible energy, and it is conjunct Mercury. Mars and Mercury are together, so that's explosive, combustible information or news. Emails or phone calls or texts, maybe from a foreigner, foreign shores, a hidden enemy blasting you, connected to your work or health environment. If it's your work environment, duck, there's that, gnarly office compatriot who's really does not got your back and wants nothing good for you. And you may be in the influence of that during that time. So be careful. Any kind of information that was hidden from your view can be coming out October 27th through the 30th and feeling like an explosive energy around things to do with your work environment, tendencies, pets, and sometimes health. But Jupiter in the 6th house of your health until the end of May next year helps you overcome almost any health challenge. So don't be afraid of that. If you have explosive news coming out that surprises you about your health, October 27th to the 30th, don't worry, I think you'll be fine. Jupiter going direct, especially after December 21st, will help remedy the problem. Now, the last of the month finishes so sweet, so strong, so beautiful. Venus and Uranus are going to connect in a very powerful trine. And what we have to know is that may be playing some continuation of what Venus was doing with Jupiter earlier on. And that was around, as I mentioned, October 21st to the 24th, Venus trine Jupiter, and then she trines Uranus. When Halloween, like October 31st, give or take a day or two on either side. A positive, exciting surprise around your health, around your work, around your career, around a pet, or even perhaps a rental situation, especially since Jupiter is in an ongoing sextile to Saturn, during this whole of this fall. And that can literally look something like you're being a whole sign sextile, able to rent or rent out a property with great success, or acquire the most perfect pet. With Saturn, probably something very solid like a bull mastiff, and have great success in that as well during October. Thanks for listening to this, Sagittarius. If you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe. Try the bell for notifications. I think if you want to join my webinar, that's probably amazing. I would love to have you there, and you get the replay for free, even if you can't make it. I have a Patreon community. It's only $5 a month for the smallest tier, the lowest tier, but you get a lot of value out of that. And I'm having a promotion during September, and I think I'll continue it to the middle of October. And that's going to be jump on in, get 2023 12 1-hour videos for free, all signs videos. They were $44, and 2 free classes that I've already done, but you get the recordings to learn yourself. And that is the Synastry class, Are You My Person? Relationship Astrology course, and my Chiron, the Key to Purpose course. And those are all free, and the value is over $80. And of course, you can try me out and leave. If you don't like Patreon community and you think it's not worth $5 a month to get ad-free early access content and 3 Zoom meetings with me a month, then you can go and take your gifts with you. No hard feelings. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be going into the next sign. And Sagittarius, I wish you an amazing October. Buckle up for those eclipses. We're all going through a ride together.